do any work on Saturday? No.
Now we're live. Yep. Manny has quit working on Saturdays as thumbnails and backgrounds, and he just put me on notice when we started. So yeah, I had no idea, but he gave me a mercy overlay for the show. But I was blindsided. I actually don't think that this thumbnail is that bad because it's the same.
It's not that
thumbnail.
bad.
It's the one that WWE used to highlight the
Hate
show. And on top of that, I felt my caption was not as bad as it normally has been. I thought it was pretty good.
It should be Roman commits fatal mistake or Roman.
Well, Marcus, you're more than welcome to do it. You know that. Welcome to the show.
I'm not doing it because just like Manny, I am boycotting working on Saturday.
I am Eric.
You don't work on Tuesday or Thursday.
Shut up, Manny.
I'm Lord Manny Hayes.
And I, because someone else don't want to mention it, am the king of the ropes in South America. Because I may jump off the apron on Manny right now. I may do it. On you and Manny. Just call me. Shit, I ain't got to jumping off the apron person right now. But
if you guys can allow me to be serious for a moment, I just need the floor to make an announcement. I've been thinking about this for a long time. I have not discussed this with Manny nor Marcus, and it's been weighing on my heart. I've been thinking about it. And it's a hard decision, but I just wanted to let everybody know that this year, 2024, I am declaring myself for the WWE Royal Rumble. I am going to enter the Royal Rumble, and I'm going to win.
Declared ourselves.
Wait a minute.
I have declared for the Royal Rumble. Just want everybody know. I just want everybody know.
There's only 30 men.
I'm one of those 30 men. I'm showing up. I'm going to Tampa, although I said I would never go to Tampa, and I am going to win the Royal Rumble this year or I'm going to ensure that my Lord and Savior, Cody Rhodes, gets to finish his story because, God damn it, this week has been rough. And what actually, in more seriousness, I have thought about this, and I was like, I would like to try to separate the Saturday show from everything and maybe have a little bit more discussion before we just jump into the Smackdown review, because we did a little bit more when we used to do the podcast. So I hope you guys are ready. So jumping into,
we used to do 3-hour shows.
I don't want to do a 3-hour show. I don't want to do that. But I would like to have a little bit. So the final boss does ask, any New Year's resolutions for 2024, and what were your resolutions made in 2023, and did you stick to them? Manny, I'll start with you since you are ahead of us when it comes to time.
I think my resolution was to, basically Marcus found it difficult in 2022 to do any thumbnails that involve photos of us because there was no actual photos of recent photos of me across the internet. So 2023 was more spent on taking more photos of myself, and I think I've accomplished that. I stuck to it. It wasn't something difficult to stick to.
Marcus, what about yourself?
Well, I've given up on New Year's resolutions years ago. I don't really have any. So I'm going to say I accomplished them all by not having a New Year's resolution, and I've entered 2024 aimless and directionless, and we'll see where it goes. The goal is to survive. 2024.
2023, I don't really do resolutions because I think they just set you up for failures. So you just try to change your life. For me, I did say that I wanted to at least do a different photo shoot each month, and I accomplished that.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Because all of them had their titties out or their asses out. I saw them. I liked them all because I am your friend.
Okay. First and foremost, Manny and Marcus, I've already picked this bone with Marcus about the allegations that you guys made toward me.
I thought we signed an NDA. You can't pick any bones with me
Tuesday
anymore.
episode.
You can't pick any bones with me
anymore.
Wait. My lawyer told me
Wait. No, he said you were considered to be potentially on Epstein's list. I didn't say that.
No. I'm not even talking about. See, you're talking about Epstein. I'm talking about when you guys accused me of being Chris Jericho of the podcast. Talk about that I was inviting Kaylee Ray to the party of one. No, that was not me. I do not do that. I'm not about that.
Information. My source was Cat Williams. And That's where I got that information. It was Cat Williams and a little bird known as Aaron Rodgers also told me that you were on that list. And I would like to be the first one in 2024 to humbly apologize for these accusations, Eric. You have never and will never be on said list or in said discussion. And I refute the devil of Manny for accusing you of doing this.
Wow.
How dare you? How dare you?
Well,
I rebuke your comments, right?
That sounds like a typical one of my siblings where they will put whatever their action was on somebody else. So, like I said, that I kind of want to change things up. And before we start talking about
Jesus,
SmackDown,
J.K. Smush, that's way out of line.
that's why I didn't. I just want to point out that The Rock made a return. He interrupted the modern day Maharaja. You guys have had some time to think about this, and The Rock has really changed the dynamic of what's going on. When Cody has been thought to be the one who's going to get to finish his story, but he's been interrupted by a chapter known as CM Punk, a chapter known as The Rock, Randy, and everybody else is back. Marcus, how do you feel about Cody's all his obstacles he's having, and are you happy to see The Rock return? And if they are going to go along with him being the one that appears and wrestle Roman in Australia, do you like that idea?
Hold on, before I answer this, can you repeat that question?
I said, Marcus, going for it.
No question. That was a long question. It was an essay of a question.
But Mark, guess what? I have it down in my book, so I can't repeat the question if you want me to.
What the fuck? You writing stuff down? All right, I can answer it all.
Question.
I am just going to answer what I can remember, okay?
Hold on.
Like your boy LeBron, who's brushing his bald head and is telling people, hold on, let me comb my hair while I answer this like LeBron because I have so much hair. And state that The Rock's return, I had mixed emotions. I believe on Tuesday I said, I thought he was just talking shit. I didn't think this was actually going to be anything. And then it's been addressed multiple times in the WWE universe by wrestlers and stuff. So this man is coming to finish the story of the tribal chief. But the rumor has it, he's going to do it in Australia to not conflict with the Cody CM Punk situation. So with that being said, why is this in Australia? I'm going to be up at 1 or 2 in the morning or 4 in the morning.
Oh, now you're going to be up. Now you're going to be up.
I am upset about this. They should be in America. It should be in American time. They set the standard for America when Jinder was out there running down all of America. This is an American match, damn it.
Marcus, can I tell you something? Your rant sounds so American. It's disgusting. It makes me ashamed to be an American. Manny, I turn to you. Do you agree with the sentiment of this bigot down here who doesn't want Australia to have anything, Marcus? What else do they have but Kangaroo and Crocodile Dundee? Let them have The Rock,
what
damn
the
it.
hell?
Let them have The Rock.
They have the women's champion.
They have Rhea Ripley. They have the Iconics. They have...
Kinda. She keep pushing out babies.
They have Grayson Waller. They have Tim Tams.
Don't they have Bronson Reed? Isn't he from Australia too?
No, he's from New Zealand, Marcus.
No, I think he's Australian.
I think he's Australian.
Dakota Kai is New Zealand. But with that being said,
anyway,
they have it all. They have it all.
Manny, what do you think about this whole situation?
They can go to work in kangaroo pouches. That's a dream of mine.
Marcus, I'm trying to ask Manny a simplified. 2024 starting off, WWE has good problems. They have a bunch of people who can contend against the tribal chief. How do you feel about The Rock's putting his feather in the hat?
It's a good problem to have because they've got multiple shows all over the place. But they got 2 shows in Europe and then obviously Cody wants to finish the story. It doesn't necessarily have to happen at WrestleMania. It could happen in Bumfuckville, wherever on a SmackDown.
Bumfuckville? Manny, what the hell is Bumfuckville? I just feel like they need to fix their homeless situation.
It could happen anywhere on a SmackDown. It could happen on a SummerSlam. It doesn't have to be at WrestleMania. They've added CM Punk. There's 2 titles, so you can split the problem there. But like Cody doesn't have to go back to back at WrestleMania to try and finish this story. He can try and finish it at SummerSlam. That's all I'm saying.
So you're saying that Cody should not be able to close his chapter of this book at WrestleMania because
I mean, he doesn't have to.
I
don't need him to. I don't. First, Eric, I don't want a man winning 2 Royal Rumbles back to back and then going to WrestleMania back to back main events. I don't need it.
Although
Can
I finish? Although I am a Cody fan, there's a part of me that wants him to win the Royal Rumble again, go back to WrestleMania, and then lose again. I don't know why. I'm an awful man.
Petty man.
But
Yeah, petty
I
man.
think it would make me happy about this situation. The Rock needs to get in ring shape if he does plan on wrestling, because the little bit he did with Jinder, he was sucking air. He was looking like me trying to walk up 10 flights of stairs, and you know he couldn't do it. Overall, I think
Jey Uso walking to the ring.
WWE is in a good spot. I will point out that I am not a fan of house shows because all the good guys win. I believe that is bullshit. I wanted some bad guys to win. That was ridiculous that no heels got over.
Street Profits would.
Huh?
Solo beat the Snowman. Solo beat the Snowman and Street Profits would. Those are heels.
But we don't know what the Street Profits is. This episode of SmackDown made it even more confusing. I still don't know what they are.
Can I also chime in about the Dwayne situation?
Go ahead.
With him coming back and going to finish his story of sitting at the head of the table. Would you, as we've been in a tradition since WrestleMania 20 of having the Benoit Invitational triple threat match since WrestleMania 20, WrestleMania 30, can we get a triple threat match at WrestleMania 40 to keep everything going, in which Roman loses, but The Rock takes the pin, or vice versa?
You know, I think what they could probably do, and this could be a huge cop out. They could have the old fashioned double people win the Rumble, stuff like that, and then you have a match on night 1 for the person in the face the tribal chief on night 2. That could be something.
Roman don't work 2 times in one weekend.
Well, no, Roman's only working once. He's only working on Sunday, but the other people have to work back-to-back days.
Well, here's the question though. What was in CM Punk's contract? Because I believe he's main event one of these nights. I don't believe that man came back without that being solidified in his contract.
Well,
that I am closing night 1 or night 2, and you know, in his contract. So, do you feel like he put I'm night 2, and I don't care what the hell's going on with The Rock and Roman?
I can tell you this right now. I don't have any connection with CM Punk and Roman Reigns right now. Like, it's not a match I need to see. The only thing that they have in common is the Paul Heyman situation. And I thought Paul Heyman's promo that we'll talk about later on will, address that situation. I think that the two people who have more connection to Roman Reigns is his cousin, The Rock, who people will acknowledge is the head of the table, or Cody Rhodes, who tried to finish his story in Los Angeles, and that did not happen. Marcus, Jey Uso is there, but he is not there just yet. If anything, he'll end up fighting his brother, Jimmy Uso, at WrestleMania. I can see that happening.
Yeah, so we're almost on the road to WrestleMania, because we don't get on that road to after the Royal Rumbles, but right now you're packing that road. Jimmy and Jey Uso, is that the match for Rumble? Not Rumble, for Mania? Would that be something you would do? Or are you teaming them back together going after those tag team titles?
I think the thing about having them face each other for the first time and like in a high stake match would be something interesting to do. I mean, they're fighting for the bloodline. I don't know if that's like something that put butts in seats, but at the same time, it's something that has not happened. I don't know if they have.
Should. I think it should, and I think they should put it at the start of WrestleMania Night 1. Just like Owen and Brett in WrestleMania 10.
Or you could even make it even more spicier and make it a triple threat match where you throw Solo ass in that match too, and then it's like, you have a Samoan triple threat match. But I got a lot of points to make. I got a lot of points to make, so I want to keep going. So Manny, you are in Europe, and you have noticed that WWE is making more of an effort.
Facts.
Mark, wait, WWE is
I
making
know.
more of an effort to make their product more global with the announcement this week that Triple H made that Money in the Bank will be taking place in Toronto, Canada, a place where I said, you know what, I might spend money to
Toronto,
go.
Canada is not in Europe.
No,
Eric.
but it's still not in, it's
He
not.
said it's an international show.
It's an international
Yes,
show.
but he said, Manny, you're in Europe.
and I was gonna get to my question. My questions are
you got-
long-winded. Manny, I was gonna say, with WWE doing more shows outside of the United States, do you think John Cena's promise about, London getting a big show is gonna happen?
Eric, I believe my favorite John Cena is going to continue his lies into 2024 as he will appear in Paris and in Germany and in Canada, stating that they also deserve WrestleMania in their country.
Here's where, Manny, I think you and everybody in London should be offended. Maybe you won't get WrestleMania ever. Maybe. But you know what's a damn disrespect? If Australia gets the Rock, that's a damn disrespect. That's some disrespect. There's one thing to not get WrestleMania, but for Australia, who ain't put the work in all these years, who hasn't had the most dedicated fan base, who they haven't tried. Like, I don't know what their fan base is. I'm sure it's huge or whatnot, but London has been there. They're passionate. They love it. They comes there with their silly little bus and their taxi cabs and their phone book. You guys put up with their racism every single time they come here, and you give them nothing but love. You gave AEW nothing but love, and you treated it like WrestleMania. But how dare the WWE give the Rock to Australia? That's what I'm saying. I'm offended for all London. Manny, I consider you a brother, therefore I'm offended for you.
Know who's more offended? The Saudi Arabians. They're like, what you talking about? We don't get the Rock.
Hey, Habibi could pay to get the Rock to appear. We've all seen that photo floating about of Habibi getting the Undertaker over to Saudi Arabia. His kids were not interested. He was the most happiest man alive.
Yeah, and shout out to the Saudi Arabians, Eric. I refuse to let them interrupt what London has gotten for the simple fact they got Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Kane, and the Undertaker's last match. Yes, it was horrible.
Most abysmal thing ever.
Yes, it was horrible. But they got Shawn Michaels out of retirement, who said he would never come out. United States didn't get it, London didn't get it, Saudi Arabia got it. Therefore, they get nothing else.
I have a couple of more things I would like to discuss before we jump into SmackDown. Marcus, this week, your boy, or your former boy, I don't know where you stand with him, Velveteen Dream, also known as Patrick Clark Jr., issued an apology, apologizing for all his indiscretions and mistakes that he's made over time. Marcus, did you believe his apology? And do you believe this is a way to get Velveteen back in pro wrestling?
Eric, he looks sober, he looks sincere, but I would never bring him back. I think that it's a nice step. He's still young. I think he's still in his 20s. I still believe there's something there with Velveteen Dream. I know he has his accusations and whatnot, but those are just accusations. You can't prove anything right this current moment. And he has all his other issues. But, I'm rooting for him. I always root for the best out of people. And I'm rooting for him to, recover and achieve his dreams and goals too.
Manny, do you have any opinion about Velveteen trying to relive his dream?
I don't give a fuck about Velveteen.
Okay.
He was talented. He was talented and all, but like the time has passed. I don't give a fuck about him.
Dark Side of the Ring, Velveteen Dream, followed by Dark Side of the Ring, Chris Jericho.
So before I get to my last thing that I want to talk about,
before we move on, just whenever you find the time today, because it is the 6th of January, make sure you go over to Chris Jericho's Twitter and just ask where his wife was several years ago. It's the anniversary of where your wife was.
Jimmy says our store Frontier is dead. Holler when you set up a new merch site. We need to probably research that. I don't know if the store Frontier site was ever a good idea, but Wes with the lies talking about Ditto. He's just gonna copy whatever design is made and make it himself. Marcus, I'm assuming you watch Wrestle Kingdom. I don't know if Manny did. El Luchador says Naito is washed. Do you agree with that, Marcus?
Yeah, he's old. It just seems like it's just when he won the title against Sonata, it was been there, done that. I wasn't as invested into that as I was into the Okada Danielson match, or even the David Finlay, Moxley, and Will Ospreay triple threat match, or even El Desperado versus Takahashi and Hiromu. So I wasn't into like the main event at all, really. So I could put that in that category.
And El Luchador is still mad that Cody left AEW. He says he's hoping Cody's story is called The Never Ending Story. Then he followed up with Cat Williams, also said Cody's daughter, Liberty, ain't shit, and she didn't end racism as Cody predicted.
El Luchador, you can't call out a child.
He did.
Wait a minute, Manny. You know what the show is. Eric has called out numerous childs over appearances and looks. And I'm mostly talking about what's that food? Bobby Lashley's son, Miles. I couldn't remember his name.
I was on an episode of ETE wishing that Josh Alexander's kid got kicked in the face.
Yeah, Manny.
Jimmy, congratulations, and I also feel sorry for you. You don't know what that means yet, but being a homeowner is one of the greatest joys and almost one of the biggest pains in the ass ever, because when shit breaks, you realize you're responsible for it. I hope you're handy, because I'm not, and I have to pay people for shit to get fixed, like my heater. God damn.
Well, hold on, people. Eric. Whatever Jimmy say is the truth. Whatever Jimmy say is true, because he's sweetened the pot. He's sweetened the pot.
I know, Margaret. And he says, happy to it. Jimmy, we appreciate you. And whenever we get the new merch set, we will send you a shirt for free. As soon as we get a merch stand.
You'll be the first one to get that BBC shirt.
I just want to let Manny and Marcus don't know this, but I've been talking to the Jackson's wife, and she might want our merch store. She might be in charge of our merch store. So I'm feeling good and feeling really excited about what's gonna happen.
Please don't say that with that screen going on. I'm feeling really good and really excited about what's gonna happen.
My last thing I want to talk about is that AEW has been in the news this week. There were reports that they offered a huge contract to Mercedes Moné, which I don't know was true or not, but seemed like a lot of money. And then on this week's episode on Dynamite, the virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo, I think I got her name right. She made her debut. Say her name. And it also appeared that there was a little bit more.
Go on, body shame her. Go on.
Yeah. Hold on, Manny. No. I'm just gonna do tech. I was gonna put my hand up and wait for you to just go ahead and attack her stomach, Eric. Go ahead.
I was not going to attack her stomach, but I thought her outfit was a very questionable outfit. But that's not the point I'm trying to make.
Come on, we know who was coming. I know. We know.
Marcus said that on Thursday that you would say that.
Mariah May had her match. They had a segment where I think Haley, whatever her name that was from
Holly Cameron.
Holly is now trying to associate with the Page crew and stuff like that.
You don't remember their names?
They don't remember their names, Mark.
The Outcasts. Hey, y'all.
But Manny, I'm going to ask you: do you think in 2024, with all these new female involved in AEW getting some camera time, do you think that TK will focus more on women's wrestling in his company? Or do you think this is a reaction to the negativity about the NDA and Chris Jericho?
No, if he gets the big fish of Mercedes Moné, he's going to have to take the women's division seriously. He can't just be giving them like 5 minutes of a match here and there and then a segment or two here and there. He will have to take this division seriously and not just focus on his vanilla midgets all the time. He will have to take these women seriously.
He had a lot of them this week too. Dynamite had a lot of midgets. But then SmackDown brought in some too. So it was a small week in 2024. We started off staying small. But Marcus, what about you? Women in AEW, do you see them having more pivotal roles with the Virtuosa showing up?
Eric, I don't believe that they're going to focus on women's wrestling. And the only way I'm going to believe that if I see it. If I see Dynamite starts with opening match with Julia Hart versus Sky Blue. And I know they're teaming together, but and then after that match, we go to a backstage segment where Ruby Soho is attacking Saraya. And then following that, we have men's stuff. And then the main event is Toni Storm versus Deonna Purrazzo. That's the only way I believe it if I see that ever happen. And I don't believe that's going to happen because I'm standing here right now and say, Tony don't care about women. He ain't never will. Like, we've accused Tony of a lot of things. We've accused him of not liking the blacks at some point on the show, or people of color of any kind, or even respected luchadors. We've done all of this with Tony and Big Swole. We did all this. And he is disproving that. But the women have stayed consistent in their spot for the 4 years they have existed, to having their 1 match a week, now 2 matches if you count Collision, and their segment, and then you don't hear follow-ups for any of it. Because, Eric, let me give you a list of names who they have signed, and you have not seen in a while. Where's Taya Valkyrie? Cool. I'm sure Riho's about to take another vacation.
All, Manny, I'm shocked. I didn't expect Marcus to come here with receipts. And he's called Mark. Go ahead, call Tony out, Marcus. Call Tony out.
No, we take women's wrestling seriously on the Untitled Manny Marcus show.
Yeah, we actually like women's wrestling. In fact, there's been some entertaining shit.
As you guys understand, for most all of these shows that I've done watch-alongs, my favorite matches of the nights have always been the women's matches, and I'll be like, damn, they always win.
Yeah. So there's just a numerous of women who just disappear throughout their time. Taya Valkyrie, Abaddon's, I believe her season pass is up at this point. They've done nothing, and I want to say this with Willow Nightingale. She's just teaming with random people. Chris Statlander came back with all her bad knees, defeated Jade Cargill, kind of is invisible. You can see her on Collision, but technically invisible. Just multiple women. They signed Paige Saraya and did nothing with it. That was supposed to be a big return. She's just around now. She's just around.
You know, the disappointing thing that I can say that AEW has done, and you brought up Willow Nightingale. Willow Nightingale actually jumped into a realm that I watched. She was on one of my cooking shows that I watched, and AEW didn't even advertise or mention that. And it's part of the Turner. It's part of the Turner Network. And I'm just
who else was on that show with her?
Huh?
Who else was on that show?
You had the Super Chef. It was the Super Chef show. It had
no. Who's the other wrestler?
Jade Cargill on that show.
Was it Jade Cargill?
It's Jade Cargill.
Oh, well, that's playing so much. I didn't watch the episode. I turned and I was like, I'm not watching this. Well, shit.
It was like when that time
you turned down watching a food show.
I don't really like that show that much.
But it was like that time when I think it was Athena showed up on Hell's Kitchen. Damn. WWE really didn't advertise that.
Damn, like, you know what? So you know the craziest thing about that, you don't.
What happened to Athena?
Hey,
Ring of Honor relegated.
You don't realize how old.
She's doing big time winning Ring of Honor though.
Like, can I ask a question?
Man, no one sees it.
No, Athena. We all know. If I'm not talking shit about the Virtuosa or Athena,
her stomach. You don't talk shit about the Virtuosa.
Hey,
you talk about her stomach.
No, I don't.
You talk about her big section.
But I've heard very good things that Athena is doing in Ring of Honor. And when I asked this question, she's doing such wonderful things. Why is she not brought over to the AEW roster where, you know, they could use help? They really could.
Yeah. Eric,
I think she's better off not being dealt with by Tony Khan, to be honest.
Yeah. Eric, more proof about how Tony feels about women in wrestling. And this is I know how the wrestling community feel about this particular woman, but you know, it's still name recognition. Ronda Rousey wrestled on Ring of Honor this year, and you did not see an inch of that on any Dynamite footage whatsoever.
I mean,
they advertised it mostly online.
Social media. You saw it all on social media.
But you know,
all over social media. Oh, you have Ronda Rousey. We stole something from WWE. We didn't sign her, but we did have her for a match with her girl, Marina Shafir. But you know nothing about that.
I mean, the thing about it, you kind of hope that Tony just grows as a person. And I mean, but Jimmy says right here, he says, TK is the Tyler Perry of wrestling, too obsessed with his own opinions to listen to criticism and improve. And I think he hits the nail on the head. I mean, the thing about Tony is Tony doesn't do anything until he's criticized about it. Like, we didn't start seeing black wrestlers get pushed until people called him racist. The next thing you know, people start getting pushed. You didn't see women start wrestling more until people say, man, you got a creepy Jericho having parties for one, and you don't do anything. Then he starts trying to push women.
I don't think that was the case this week, Eric. I don't think that had anything to do with it. It was still that one segment. It was Tony Storm, and they had a random segment. That was it. They threw all the women in one segment.
Oh, Manny, I should ask, what do you feel about Mariah May?
It's a bit overrated well, it's not overrated, but too strong. I feel like what I was sold and what was delivered wasn't the exact same thing. Like I was sold that she was a great star coming out of Stardom, but then when presented on Dynamite, she barely won that match against the Queen. I don't know what the other name.
Queen Amaduja. But I mean, the Queen had a good showing too. My issue with that was, once again, I thought Mariah passed the airport test. Like, you was like, oh, who's that? Like, you looked, but like you said, her match.
But I look at her and go, that's not Tiffany Stratton, and then walk away.
But you're right. But that's the first thing. I was like, they created their own version of Tiffany Stratton, a Tiffy top. But my issue with that
was Wilson.
But my issue was, like you said, the match was too competitive. The match was extremely too competitive. She should have squashed this girl who we didn't even know. But like they went back and forth. I don't know what that was about.
I'm so sorry, Eric. I didn't hear a word you said.
That's all right,
I heard the back and forth. I agreed. I said the same point this week, but once Manny started saying you're not enough for me, and then I added
but I do have a question, because my favorite match from Dynamite this week, and that's why we have the AEW graphic, was Takeshita versus
yes,
Darby
Eric.
Allin.
Yes,
that was a very, very good match, and I am so confused because I was like, I don't know if Takeshita is a good wrestler and or Darby Allin is a fucking great opponent to have, and he made Takeshita look really great. But
Eric,
overall, I was like, wow, they have a star with this guy, because when he walked out with the mask, I was like, oh, that's kind of quasi Shinsuke, a little bit like the dark mask. But when he got into the ring, he was doing stuff I had not seen a wrestler do, and he actually got me excited. I was like, okay,
Eric, let me ask you a question. I asked Marcus this question on Thursday. It was more me thinking it was a wild take. Okada is gonna be on the market in the next couple of weeks, if not this week or whenever. You are Tony Khan. You've already got a Takeshita. Do you sign Okada? Because I think Takeshita is the next Okada. Do you bring him in and risk Okada becoming a mid-card guy like everyone else that's been brought in now? Or do you continue with what you've got?
There's a part of me that hopes that he brings in Okada so he can forget about Takeshita, and Takeshita can go someplace else and maybe become a star. Because I think he has star written over. It's something like he's a big Japanese guy. Like, he's big in height, he's thick. Like you said, it's something about him. I don't know if being with Don Callis is the right way to go, but man, he really, really impressed me with that match. And then something else that happened in Dynamite was hilarious. We'll talk about real quick. But I think that if you're Tony, you have to resist the temptation of signing Okada and just let him walk away. Don't spend any more of your daddy's money and focus on what you have right now. I'm trying to do in 2024. I'm trying to focus on the cameras that I have now and not try to buy any new cameras. Well, Eric, it's hard.
Let me ask you about your daddy, then, Papa Triple H.
You know, fuck my daddy.
Yeah, but I wasn't going there.
I thought you were asking about my real daddy. Sorry.
I was asking about Papa H. Would you offer Okada money, or would you keep everything in house and invest? Like, I got people in NXT.
I kind of feel like in WWE, you kind of do offer Okada money, because then you can have Nakamura versus Okada at WrestleMania just for like shit and giggles. Like,
you're trying to create Eddie Thorpe versus Bear Hill.
No, but I'm just saying, it's like.
I'm just playing. I'm joking.
It's clear WWE has, since Triple H has taken over, WWE has taken a better role of how they address handling their performers who don't speak English very well, because what they've done with Nakamura, what they've done with Io, has been actually really, with Asuka, it's been very entertaining. I think I look forward to Monday Night Raw, the nightmare before with Nakamura. It's just sad that he's being fed to Cody for this, but like Nakamura hasn't been this relevant in a long time. And Marcus, you know that you've been a Nakamura fan for a long time. He hasn't been this relevant. And I find it enjoyable. So I think for Okada, they might be able to do something with him. I mean, like if he goes to AEW, you've already seen all the matches he can have in AEW. You already seen.
He fought Bryan Danielson, Eric, realistically.
Yeah, but I mean, he's also fought
You
Omega.
can't say all the matches.
No, but he's fought Omega too. It's like there's really no blockbuster matches that he needs to have compared to he goes to WWE, Okada versus Randy Orton. I mean, that's a fantasy dream. We've always wanted to see that match. And I'm just saying, so hopefully, I think he's going to go to TNA though. I think TNA is trying to make a move. I really think they are.
Or do you think, I don't think he's going to TNA. If I'm Okada, I'm Kazuchika Okada, regarded as one of, if not the best wrestler in the world. I don't go to TNA for the simple fact they are at their best. At their best, they're number 3. At their best in the world of wrestling promotions. I'm stepping up, and I'm going to either AEW or WWE.
Also, I would point out that I thought the one thing I took away from AEW is that AEW doesn't really have a clear definition of who their faces and heels are, except they established in the last match that clearly Swerve is a face now, and Adam Page is a racist. That although Samoa Joe,
did they?
Marcus, let me just point out. Although Samoa Joe, Adam Cole, and
what
the
did
Kingdom,
Page do that was racist?
Let me just point out. Listen to me. Although Adam Cole, Samoa Joe, the Kingdom, they're the one that threw him through a windshield. He decided that he was going to come back after he interrupted the interview and attack Swerve Strickland, who already whooped his ass. That's pure hate. You had a white man, a Samoa man, and a bunch of white men attack you, but you go and beat up the black man who had nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it.
Swerve, you trying to tell me Swerve isn't owed a beat down on site?
Mark, I understand that
if
Swerve
this man walks into your house and now people are all chanting his name, that wouldn't just be pissing you off in the back that man threw a t-shirt or maybe my baby when I wasn't home where I was neglected my kid.
Let me just point out.
He hit him in the back of the head with a cinder block, Eric. I think he owes him an ass whooping.
I was okay with Adam when he interrupted Daddy Magic because I didn't understand why he was getting interviewed in the first place. But at the same time, I was like, you went after, you said, I'm looking for you, Joe. I'm looking for you, Cole. And the next thing you know, you go after Swerve. I'm like, I guess,
that's what happens when you show up an hour and 45 minutes late to work. The people you want to talk to ain't there no more. And they left. There was no reason for the devil or Joe. Joe didn't even make the show. I don't even know what his intent were. I don't even know why Hangman paid for a plane ticket to go wherever the fuck, New Jersey, I'm assuming, wherever they were at. I think they said it a million times. Wherever they were at, I don't understand why he even showed up. He showed up unshowered, unshaven, and he had nobody else to fight. And he just attacked Swerve. That was the only thing to do.
Let me tell you, I got 3 letters for you. Oba. That's all I need to say. And that was, he's a nice guy. He got a good look to him. I think he can go someplace. Melo ain't shit. I don't know why Kevin Owens was there, but Melo was trying to screw Trick out of his title. And it's like, what we doing here?
Yeah, they need to. I mean, that was the definitive screw job. I think we need to settle this next week. I think it needs to be done next week because
it's dragging on.
It's dragging on.
It's dragging on.
This is dragging on a little bit too much. And then also my girl JCJ walking around doing whatever she's doing. I don't know what she's doing.
She's taking control of Chase U.
Yeah, I don't understand how she got power. Maybe she has somebody someplace stowed away. I don't know, but I was like, okay, go ahead and do it because Andre ain't doing shit with his money.
Hold on. Do you know what? We didn't mention this on Thursday. This happened when we were on holiday. Not Tony D. Andre Chase was shooting dice with OTM.
He got that right. He was.
Manny.
How did we leave that out?
One of the best segments ever.
Manny, I called Marcus on this shit. I was like, Marcus, why ain't he walking away? Why he ain't walking away? Can't fuck Duke is saying, hey, walk away, man. You up.
That was a segment that was so good that we should have came out of our break just to talk about the dice game. That was a classic dice game.
It was.
You knew the criteria. You knew the criteria. The criteria was if we were to come out of break holiday was that if Swerve was to confront Tony Khan.
I will tell you this right now. Them shooting dice was so much better than them cutting their promo with them in the streets and stuff. I was like, I don't need this in my life. I don't need this at all. You know what I could also say was done really well? The Ridge Holland interview. Don't know why, but I was like, I get what they were trying to do with it, but he hasn't snapped all the way. I really enjoyed me some NXT.
Let me add something here. I'm going to add something to this conversation because you haven't brought this up. It has appeared that MJF has been removed from the roster page of AEW. The quote-unquote bidding war of 24 is allegedly up there right now. With that being said, I don't believe any of that nonsense.
Huh? Did you hear the report that he may be out for a year because of all of his injuries?
Yeah.
What injuries does he have?
Man should be diving on his hip when the table breaks before he jumps.
I think he's got all this other stuff.
Yeah, he was running himself ragged, and then in every match he seemed to get injured.
Damn,
but that's Adam Cole's fault. He wouldn't be wrestling as nearly as much if it wasn't for Adam Cole.
Man, I'm talking about it's an unsafe work environment. That's sad. I didn't realize that was going on with MJF.
I was just pointing out he was going to be a side comment on this. It was more about the reveal of the devil. We've been waiting for this for months. Are you satisfied?
No, this is just as long as Trick and Mellow, man. It's like hair the fuck up.
No, it's longer. It's longer.
This is much longer.
And then maybe it's just me. When I saw Undisputed and I saw it was the Kingdom, I was like, really? Come on, guys. You guys could have came up with an original name. You didn't have to try to dig back down to the Undisputed era. Let that shit live. Like, I didn't like it. That was me personally. But, I mean, I knew what it was. I mean, I guess. You know who had to come?
Westworld of Pentagraph.
Why are we not questioning HBK about his decision making? Mello is not the legal counsel or legal guardian of Trick Williams. If I'm Trick, I'm worried now that my boss doesn't like me now. I think the thing you have to worry about more is that The Rock's daughter is down there making decisions.
I think that's what I was gonna say. That's what I want to bring up. You can't blame HBK because The Rock daughter's running the show now.
Yeah, because clearly she came out and said she was running the show looking like the Virtuoso.
No, she wasn't. Those are some strong Samoan shoulders and then some weak Samoan knees.
Those are daddy knees.
And I would like to say she came from the Manu side of the family, where I don't think there's anything there, guys.
Hey. And then the last thing before we start talking about SmackDown, I hope people like. If you guys like this version of us talking about other shit before we get to SmackDown, let us know. Leave a comment below. Email us. The sharpshooters@gmail.com.
We don't have to review SmackDown, really. We could just hit the high points.
We could. And that's probably what I'm going to do anyway. But can we talk about the high point of my boy Joaquin? Wow, finally figured out how his busted culo. He got slingshot into a move I ain't seen before. My boy was flying high. Joaquin,
beautiful.
Joaquin is in line for something. I don't know what it is, but he in line for something.
Let me tell you what I can't wait to see, Eric. Due to this move being such a success and everybody loving it and being in awe of this move, I can't wait to see the indie version of this where people are jumping and falling on their face in botchamania. I can't wait.
What female fell on her face and lost her match? It was a female that did a dive outside the ring and lost the match. It was this week.
This week? Oh, Mia Yim?
Yep.
Michin.
Oh, we're gonna talk about Michin.
Michin, though, Eric, I'm gonna tell you this right now, and I don't know if we're gonna cover this at all. In the EO Michin match, I thought that was her entire career in front of her eyes, but she dove and hit nothing. She risked it all and hit nothing because that's been her entire WWE career.
I almost died. Oh, you know what? Fuck the referee in NXT. I'm gonna get to SmackDown. How dare you reverse the decision? That was
incredible. That was incredible.
Of all the matches,
unicorns,
of all the stuff that's been going on, like it was like this is the match, and also I'm a fan of Fallon Henley. I'm so happy she won the match because I need to see Tiffany on the forum. I knew that's what we were going for. Those vignettes are gonna be hilarious.
She's gonna be in the slop, and it's gonna, you're gonna enjoy it. But Eric, Brooks and Jensen. Did you cry a tear for them, but they're gone?
No.
Okay.
No.
I was furious that they tried to be the Shield when they left.
Marcus, 2023, I took some hits. I made some mistakes. You know, I didn't lose all the weight I needed to. I actually gained some, and me supporting Brooks and Jensen was a mistake. I understand that was one of my loss and failures of 2023. I'm not going.
You're not as down as Wes. Wes bought a Brooks and Jensen's shirt.
Well, he does. Does he also have a Tamina shirt too? Who retired from in ring action?
He doesn't have a Tamina shirt. He has a Nia Jax shirt.
Can I point out though, Mark, since we brought up Michin versus Io, this is where I talk about the WWE Women's Division. This match wasn't perfect, but Michin was solid enough in the ring to make this a competitive match. I never thought she was going to win the match, but it was moments I was like, well, you got a 2 count. You got a 2 count. But when she died outside the ring, I was like, that's hilarious. And I was like, yeah. Manny, did you actually enjoy Io versus Michin?
No.
I didn't think that would be the first thing we're talking about on SmackDown.
Yeah, I didn't think that was really a high point either.
Well, I also laughed at
There's a lot of moments in SmackDown.
I also laughed at the fact that we saw the Good Brothers come out for no good reason. So I guess they got a paycheck coming out with Michin.
Well, you know what? We've beaten around the bush on SmackDown. Let's talk about the most important thing of the show.
Okay,
and
go ahead.
I want to tackle this right now head on. And I want to say this right now. And I just going to be the definitive answer. This is their last chance to get this right with me. This is their last chance. And I'm going to point the finger up at the screen, at the camera. If they do not get the Authors of Pain, Karrion Kross, and Scarlett to work this time, I believe it is time to let them go. This is it. This is your last chance. This is the boyfriend that has been cheating on you multiple times. And this is the last chance that he have with you. Okay?
Hey,
if you fuck up once,
Mark, I'll let you know right now, Marcus. One of them Authors of Pains looked like he added some pages to his book. He was a little big.
Yeah, now I gotta remember their name again. When they said, it's Akam and Razor,
he looked like
shit, I don't remember which is which.
I think it's Razor or Toka or Bebop. Yeah, I'm not really sure who it is.
Eric, when you've been on payroll since 2022 and they haven't used you till 2024, of course you're gonna put on some pounds.
I will point out Scarlett looked good. She had the dark hair. It looked like a faction. But Marcus, I asked Manny this. How did you feel about them sacrificing the Almighty and the Street Profits for this? Like, this seems like a lose-lose situation.
Well, first of all, they should have got... Dawkins should have got beaten up for not looking in sync with the rest of them in the suit game.
Who the fuck is doing his suits? Because first of all, you can establish that Dawkins ain't got no shoulders. Let's put some shoulder pads in the suits.
No, but come on. If Lashley's wearing red and then Montez is wearing salmon, you don't fuck around with him being in a gray suit.
Now, you guys, I know you guys did enjoy the unison when they did the together because Bobby brought them together and they had me laughing.
So, these three individuals, these three black men, Eric, who have no character or direction, I was confused by their promo as the crowd was like, "We ain't booing Bobby, not today."
Not today.
They start chanting Bobby. Tez was trying to lead toward heel, but also went to baby. They have no idea what they're doing with this group. They don't have a name. We already may have a name for crossing them by next week, but we don't have anything for Bobby and them.
But Marcus, the greatest thing about Bobby, when we had the last time we saw him was Tribute to the Troops, and you could understand him being cheered there because he's a veteran. This week he's supposed to be a bad guy. I don't know. I don't know who's the good guys and the bad guys in this situation. I just don't know. But who else overstepped their bounds again? Referees and actually not referees. Fucking Del Toro and Joaquin. You do good shit on Tuesday, but then you put your nose in business that you did not belong to when you cost Santos his match against Kevin Owens. He had a plan, and when Santos was reaching out with his head to the rope as they was going to the back.
Yes. I was like, Santos' whole plan. Santos, you never considered that.
No, he never
considered that they were going to come out there and in the row. Oh, no.
Logan Paul was good on commentating. He had good moments here and there. Logan Paul versus KO. What can you say? That's where we're headed to.
But Kevin Owens was the winner of that match, and he's going to fight Logan at the Rumble. And you know what? I feel that's a good midway match. But the question about that is, what are we doing with Kevin Owens at this point? It seems like he's in like the same spot, or if not worse, because he's going to lose to Logan. I don't feel like he's beating Logan for the United States title. And if Logan is going to lose, it's going to be
Marcus. He might. I don't know.
I don't know how many times you put around Logan. Like the next time you're probably going to see Logan is WrestleMania, but I don't know. I don't know if you keep that belt on him for a prolonged amount of time.
No, it's the United States title, Manny. Do you really care where it's at?
No, I never care about it. But
Austin Theory had that belt for like 8 years.
It's not the Intercontinental title that they've made seem very prestigious recently.
I would say that if anybody should win the U.S. title, and like your WrestleMania match probably should be LA Knight versus Logan Paul. I think that should be the match. Like, I don't like LA Knight, but if anybody's going to take a title, you have to give him a title because he does have some buzz. I think that, like, let me tell you how bad I don't like LA Knight. When I was watching Smackdown, you know how each person had their package. Randy had his package. AJ had his package. I fast forward through LA Knight's package. I didn't give a fuck. I just didn't care. I just did.
To build on that point, Eric, when I watched the main event, I was like, which one of these three do not belong here? And I was like, LA Knight.
LA Knight?
Yeah.
So, Paul Heyman's promo was amazing. The man gives great promos. I mean, someone needs to acknowledge his ability to tell a story. He said so much, but using so little words. And I thought they had told a great story. And it even led to...
He spoke for a whole 5 minutes.
I know he did, but you know what I'm saying. Like he got across like 85 different storylines in that one segment. But I will point out that this is the first time in a long time that an authority figure has ever looked like a badass. Nick Aldis looked like a badass. When he tapped Paul Heyman on the thing, he's like, when your boy finished celebrating, just tell his ass he just made himself a fatal 4-way. And I was like, man, we keep the cameras rolling when Roman finds out about this.
Yes. So the match was entertaining for what it was. It was fine. And for me, Randy and AJ look like they hurt because they're so ripped at this point. Like it just looks like my whole body hurts. But it was a really solid match. But coming to that end, when Paul Heyman was like, "Don't you dare touch me!"
Yeah,
and Nick Aldis was like, "Hold on, I gotta tell you something." And you see in the background Roman cutting one of the best promos of his life, talking mad shit, holding the title. He's just happy as he can be. When your boy's done, when he's done, tell him. He just gave himself the fatal 4-way. And it ends with Paul with that look of, oh my God. And then Roman's in the background still talking shit. And I'm like, I want that shit I want the WWE.com exclusive of when Roman found out when he goes after Paul, why'd you let this happen?
Yeah.
Why how was this your wise man? How was this your idea? I got all this on my plate. I got The Rock. I got Cody finishing the story. CM Punk is coming back at me. And then I got these 40-year-old men coming at me too.
I mean, it was like one of those things. It was like one of those moments I was like, well, this is a hell of a way to end the show. I mean, because I don't know if Roman's going to be on SmackDown next week. I mean, when someone put the stat out that he only wrestled 11 matches last year, I was impressed by that stat. Manny, you hate Nick Aldis, but did you like what he did in this situation?
No, because for a good portion of that segment, I was like, well, Nick Aldis is watching this bullshit happen. I'm not going to do anything.
I enjoyed the commentary the entire time. Like they were pulling out the referee and stopping the referee. And they were Corey Graves would go, oh, Nick Aldis is just watching. No, he just shrugged his shoulders at me. I was like, man, he better do something about this.
Yeah, I've been the whole time
out of control out here.
What's he doing? He's out there doing nothing. Looking all big and imposing.
His nice fancy suit, eating his tea and crumpets.
Trying to be what's the dad's name in Different Strokes? When he was all Mr. Drummond when he was trying to help out.
It's funny you brought up Mr. Drummond and Arnold. Manny, we had that segment happen on this episode of SmackDown where Arnold, who's played by Ashanti D. Adonis, went and talked to Mr. Drummond and was asking for a shot. Marcus, you dying right now. How are you feeling with your Different Strokes, Marcus? I mean, what's going on?
With the Different Strokes, Mr. Drummond thing. I didn't think we were going to get around to that. Oh, so Ashanti was in that office, Eric. He had a goat on his hat. The man looked like he was begging for a job.
He's lying straight away with that goat written on the hat.
I 100% hope next week it's quiet. We don't really hear about it. but in the background, you see Ashanti Adonis mopping the floor.
That's racist,
just
Marcus.
gave him a job.
I just want to
That's what I saw you could do.
I
You can set up the ring.
want Tahuti Miles against the Authors of Pain next week handicap match.
I
That's
just
what
want to know
opportunities for.
how come of all the people that walk into his office, we had a camera in there for that one. Like, and how come we can't get a camera with Sha that's talking to the Rock's daughter? I need to know. Also, shout out to Joe Gacy being in the trunk for no good reason. Just being in the trunk of
I don't
Tony
know what they're
P.
doing with Joe Gacy, man. This is getting shockingly bad. He's gonna get fired soon.
But Betty, can I point out
as well?
the random introduction of the female in Tony's group was hilarious. Oh yeah, we forgot about you. Marcus, they have upgraded
Rizzo.
on dimes. They have upgraded. She looks tougher. Where is he at anyway?
Yeah, but
He
I
was
feel
in
like
AEW?
He was.
yeah, he's gone. But I feel like
What's her
Alexa
name?
Lopez was the
Adriana
better
or
owner.
something like that.
Don't know.
Adriana Rizzo?
I missed her name, man.
Rizzo, I think. Yeah,
Some Rizzo.
That sounds
I
about
remember
right.
Rizzo. That's all I can remember, but it may be
I think it's Adriana
Rizzo.
Rizzo.
Yeah.
With the thick Italian accent.
Very thick, phony Italian accent.
Hey, Coffee had a fake Jamaican accent. Let her have her. Let her play her role, man.
Still the best. The best reunion is still CM Punk, Kofi Kingston. You're making me crazy. I don't do that anymore. I don't do that anymore.
I don't do it anymore. It was a feel-good reunion of people who felt like
Did he say it's the #1 Kingston or something like that?
No, he said that in
well,
AEW.
in AEW. You're not even the #1 Kingston I'm talking to.
And you're like the third best John I've ever faced in my life.
So let's talk about debuts. Tyler Bate made his main roster debut. I felt the crowd was a little indifferent. However, the crowd did seem to respond when he did the spinning move. Manny, can Tyler Bate and Butch work on the main roster, or are they just vanilla midgets in WWE?
I think it's an upgrade to
Ridge.
Ridge. And it may be a case where you actually start taking them a little bit more seriously as British strong style once again. It could be good for both of them because Tyler Bate was kind of just treading water in NXT as well. Like he wasn't doing anything.
He was doing Solo Roca. That's what I heard.
Oh yeah!
Shout out!
He got him a black woman.
I mean, he done moving. He moving over. He moving through the locker room. He got that skill. You know what?
You know, the funny thing about that is I get the notification, I got a Facebook alert, and then all I see is this guy's got a sister. I was like, what?
That was Eric. That was Eric that posted.
I was like, what's Eric sending me? And then I look at it like, oh,
yeah.
Oh my God.
You know what? Tyler Bate might be small in stature, but he's big where it counts, if you know what I'm saying.
He's a strong boy, Eric. He's a big strong boy.
Shit.
There's a reason she's been injured, man. It has nothing to do with her in-ring work.
Oh, like I was impressed, but I was impressed that he was
British
able.
Strokes now.
I was impressed that he was able to win over the crowd because I think no one really cared about it. But you know what? It should be interesting. Especially,
I tell you what, I don't care about Cameron Grimes wrestling next week.
Well, he put his mind, he put his business in there. He shouldn't have been in there, man.
I feel like next week is chopping block week. That's the matches they previewed on SmackDown. I was like, oh, these people may not be there next year.
Everybody needs to have those people who can lose matches, but can give a good matches. I mean, that's what Dolph Ziggler did for years, and now he's going to do that in New Japan.
Going to fight Tanahashi for the title he gave himself.
That's Matt Riddle.
That's Matt Riddle, Marcus.
Tanahashi.
Not
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
You're getting your Caucasians mixed up, Marcus. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I messed that up. I'm sorry. He's going to fight David Finlay for the Global Intercontinental title or whatever it's called these days.
Who?
Fitz Finlay, son. Little guy.
Who?
Leader of the Bullet Club.
Who?
Not Jay White.
Who? Oh, Jay White had a bad week, man. Jay White had a bad week. I mean, he should be mad at Tony for how he booked him in that tournament that meant nothing just for Eddie Kingston to keep his titles.
No, Eric. I'm going to show you how meaningless that tournament was.
Marcus is a bad point about that tournament.
Eric, how long was this tournament? Just give me an estimate. It don't even have to be right.
I don't know, Marcus.
Just give me a random week, number of weeks. Fine.
Let me go with 4.
Eric,
4 or 5.
No, Eric, it was like 8 or 9 weeks of this tournament. 8 or 9 weeks. It had Bryan Danielson, Andrade, Brody King, Jon Moxley,
Daniel Garcia,
Daniel Garcia,
who had no reason main eventing AEW. No reason.
It had a lot of, it had some of their stars or whatever, right? They fought with these points. They get to their finals. They just didn't make it. It didn't work out. Jay Lethal and Mark Briscoe took all these losses. And then this week, Eddie Kingston won at World's End. And then there's already a number one contenders match, Eric.
Yeah.
And in this number one contenders match, from Bumfuck USA, all of them, Vikino, Trip USA, and other people. I can't even remember who's in the match, to be honest. But none of these people were in this Continental Classic tournament, Eric.
Not at all.
Why did they get title shots before the people who actually blood, sweat, and tears in this tournament? Why couldn't Bryan Danielson be in this? Or Jon Moxley? Or any of these other people? Why is Trip Beretta in this match and also the number one contender?
To be fair, Danielson wasn't going to get a title match because he was on a flight to Japan.
So was Moxley.
Because Marcus, once again,
saying, it should be some people in the tournament.
Marcus, TK for all the money he has spent has created another title. I don't know if it's a title or just a title of something that people don't care about. It's going to be right up there with the TBS title, the TNT title, all these other titles in recognition. Marcus,
international title.
Marcus, I'll put it this way. Trent Beretta versus Eddie Kingston ain't putting my ass in the seat. I just don't want to see it.
And I'm also going to add you in this, Eric, as Christian spew ill with Nick Wayne's mom, who I don't think needs to be on TV ever.
Why the fuck she the first person to talk? I'm not like I understand.
That was the most misogynistic thing that sounded, but you're right.
It's the same. It's the exact
right.
reaction I had.
He's right. You're 100% right. It sounds horrible.
My whole thing is, you have all these women on your roster who are trying to get time on the microphone. Britt Baker ain't been seen in months and years. Yet we go and have Nick Wayne, who just recently signed. His mama is cutting a promo that no one needs. We don't need this promo from whatever her name is. I was appalled.
I believe it's Shayna.
I don't give a fuck what her name is.
Exactly, Eric. It doesn't matter. But I 100% agree with you. And I want to add this. Rank the mid-card AEW titles. TNT, TBS.
Mark, I can't.
Hold on. TNT, TBS, the Ring of Honor television title, because I'm
the AEW World title.
No, it's not a mid-card title. I'm not going to do that to them. I'm not going to do that to them. I'll let them have that one. But the international, which one do you rank the highest?
Right now, for me, because Orange Cassidy, the international title has the most prestige to be because it's actually defended. The TNT title is towards the bottom because of the shenanigans and stuff that get pulled. I mean, because when I saw that whole segment that took place with Christian and all that, it felt like Tribal Chief light in so many ways. It felt like the segment that we saw before we took our break where Jimmy thought he was going to get the recognition and he didn't get the recognition.
It was the exact same segment.
Yeah, and I was just like, I've been there, done that, and I don't care enough about Kill Switch to care. Like, wow, I remembered his name. That's something that I need to be impressed by. I didn't even call him by his daddy's name, known as the Luchasaurus. Where's I Like Glass Jungle Jack Perry at? Where he at?
He's so suspended.
Well, you also forget the FTW title.
That's not recognized, Marcus.
I believe they defended on their weekly.
I'm going over, but I would like to recognize something also. I will point out, shout out to the man, Becky Lynch, for having a match that was very good with Nia Jax on Monday Night Raw, and not only having a good match, but putting Nia Jax over. Like, Nia Jax getting that win is big. Manny, your hand is up, so my mouth goes shut.
No, why are you just giving Becky Lynch the credit? Like, Nia Jax has improved since she come back.
She has.
Give Nia Jax the credit she deserves.
I want to spit up my coffee. The world has really flipped on his head where Manny is defending Nia Jax.
Well, Manny has
he came to the defense. And I agree with you 100%. But you came to the defense of it.
Marcus, did you tell Manny how we felt about Ludwig when we saw him at the house show and how we feel like he has something special? And as long as once he gets his opportunity, it's gonna be something amazing.
Smooth. I got Randy Orton vibes from him. That's how smooth he was to read, young Randy. When you'd be like, damn, look at this shit.
He's teaching him how to wrestle.
Let me just point out, R-Truth has been missing from WWE TV. It is the natural comedy that he just brings it to the table. Him talking when he had the team with the Miz and he winked at Dominic Mysterio about what he needed to do, had me dying. And on top of that,
opposite quarters.
JD Madonna needs to be let go.
Oh,
why am I losing my voice? Do I have COVID?
You know what? He found his place.
JD's not bad.
He found his place. Now Apollo needs to be let go because Apollo is nowhere to be found. Odyssey Jones needs to be let go unless they're going to team Odyssey Jones and Apollo together because they do like to team the blacks together like
Can
that.
I ask a question, Marcus? Were you disappointed that Seth and Drew had a better match on Monday Night Raw than we had at the arena?
Oh, I knew they were going to have a better match because, Eric, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to get hurt before Raw. I'm not doing that. But Drew has a lot to complain about, as in he had Seth knocked out, but he overpinned. He overpinned. Heartbreaking.
You can't overpin, man. You just can't do it. But
I mean, with that being said, this week, Manny, I'm sorry, your team is not going to make the playoffs. This is NFL talk. I'm sorry. I know the expectations of the Jets this year were high, but Rodgers went down in minute
Hang
two.
on, as soon as Rodgers went down, I've been supporting the 49ers, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, Manny, damn, that hurt, Manny. I didn't realize you could hurt me by saying he's supporting.
So first of all, Manny, the only reason why he's hurt is that this man, who his first adopted team, the Green Bay Packers, have been eliminated from contention, and somehow.
Wait a minute, hold on, brother. We are not eliminated. If we win this week, we're in.
Whatever. You just know
both my teams can get in.
You're riding the coattails of the Los Angeles Rams, who somehow fluked into the playoffs. I don't know how they got there, but they did.
My team's winning. Your team actually has a chance to get in this week too.
Margaret, it don't matter if we get it or not. All that matters is that Mike Thomas' winning record has been protected.
Hey, I want to fire his black ass in front of 100,000 people. I'm just saying that.
All right, Adam Page.
I want to do a missing man in front of Mike Tomlin and him not seeing it coming. Although, if you want to talk about coaches that need to get fired and that you support and that hurt Darvin Ham.
We need to cook that ham. He lost the locker room, y'all. He lost the locker room.
He has to. I mean, and I also would like to give a shout out to the coach of the year, which no one's giving any credit to.
Here we go. All right, that was the thing. You know, I should remove Barkins as he talking about his coaches. Aren't you guys supposed to whoop our ass on Sunday too? I think the Clippers play the Lakers. I think they do.
We don't play until the 23rd.
Oh, well, we're gonna lose no matter what. It don't matter.
Yeah.
We got the in-season tournament. That's all that matters.
You got a banner?
Who knows? Hey, where's Willie you at? He didn't show up.
He was on Rampage. Rampage happened this week.
Oh.
Chris Jericho appeared on Rampage. Everybody thought he was going on break, but
did they get him to show up by saying that Kaylee Ray was going to be there?
No, some other young, aspiring women's wrestler was going to show up.
Hey, you know, Mr. Who Don't Take No Days Off was there again this week too, Edge. Oh, no, he wasn't. But he told me he was going to be there every day.
No, Edge is doing the same shit he did WWE, Eric. That's simply have a match, do an injury, disappear for weeks, and then we get a video, Edge returns.
Hey, guys, I want to point out, 2023, we had a lot of Jeff Jarrett, but so far in 2024, I ain't got no Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff Jarrett was on Rampage, Eric.
You're in the first week of 2024. Do you really want to risk saying that?
Oh, no, he already, Eric, tuned into Rampage.
We don't watch Rampage, Marcus.
All these people were on there. We
don't watch Rampage.
Jarrett, they're all on there.
Oh, Manny, I have a question for Manny now because it popped in my head. Manny, how do you feel about the return of the private party?
I do not care, Eric.
Mark Quinn should never have a microphone in his hand.
Both of them should never have a microphone. Both of them. They are both terrible.
The world has passed them up. I mean, when it comes to black tag teams, Eric, I want you to speak on this, maybe if you do or not. I believe they fall lower than the pedestal, lower than OTM at this point.
I don't
know what race they are, Eric. I know Reggie's in there, so I go on the black tag team. All right,
Urban tag team, the new Team 3D.
Huh?
Caden Carter and Katana Johnson.
First of all, that was one of my favorite segments on Raw. I don't know why. Piper Nevin
Fake ass club.
and them came into the club. Once again, Caden Carden and they gonna lose their thing for doing coke because they having too much party at Exity. You can't do that.
What they do to the club on a Monday? They got one day in a week to show up for work.
Marcus, they work on Monday, but they decide to go to the club and they the champions.
On a Monday?
Is that allowed? If I'm a general manager, I'm fining them for not turning up to the show.
But man, they sent the camera crew to follow them.
Got their celebration. How dare you? Eric, did you feel Samoa Joe should have been on the show this week, or is he following other Samoan Joes who just don't show up when they become the world champion?
I mean, maybe he stayed at home to mourn the loss of the departure.
He's in London.
From Kevin Dunn.
He's in London, Eric.
New Year.
Oh, I mean, you the champion. You can do what you want to do.
Yeah, Kevin Dunn's gone. That's whatever. What am I supposed to say? I don't know what to say about that other than it's the end of an era.
We spoke about it on Tuesday about Kevin Dunn not being there for Raw. Did you notice anything different about SmackDown?
No.
Believe it or not, my biggest takeaway this week was
no Michael Cole.
Yeah,
they said they're going back to two-man booths.
Yeah, I figured they was going to do that. They feel like they got Michael? Kevin Patrick to the point where they want him to be close to being fired, and that's what they're going to do. Let me tell you this right now. My biggest takeaway from this week was not in WWE. It was from AEW. Takeshita really did so. He stood out to me. He was my takeaway.
It's Darby.
You think is it Darby?
No, it's both of them. I'm not saying take away. Darby is a standout wrestler who will die for you on every given week. And he's going to die climbing Mount Rushmore.
Come on, man. That rolling suplex on the ramp. Shit.
Darby gives his all, though. And I beg the question of what they were doing with both of these guys, because this was a match just in the middle of the show. It seemed like just a field time.
It meant nothing either.
Yeah.
It meant nothing.
And they put on the banger. They put on one of the matches of the weeks.
Cody bought tickets.
It was the match of the week.
Wait, Cody bought tickets for fucking fans in New York?
He did it for that wrestling club thing with all the black kids.
Yeah.
There are no white kids in that club.
This man tried to interracial
ticket. He great politics. Man, let me bring this back to politics in 2024. I would rather have Cody Rhodes be my president than Joe Biden and Donald Trump, which is where we're leading.
Marcus, I'll let you know that I agree with you wholeheartedly, Marcus. I think it's time for the old people to stop running our country. We need some youth in our government. How 80-something-year-old man gonna tell me how I live my life
via TikTok and stuff? I'm not sure you want that.
Yeah, you're gonna end up with one of the Paul brothers being champion or the up champion president.
Hey, it can't be no worse.
Yeah,
we could have. Yeah, Terry Crews could become president. And
looks like your girl Kayla Braxton went and did a photo shoot, Manny. She posted pictures. I see you shared them. As I lose my voice. And shout out to Cat Williams for trying this to be a super heel and call everybody out for no good reason.
Michael Braxton's response was probably one of the best ones of he called out 10 comedians just to make himself relevant.
I don't care. I feel like he won this. I think his profile is elevated by doing this. He helped shed his shirt profile. He has elevated everybody and has been the most entertaining and already in January, I don't know who we have for promo of the year, but this man got a 3-hour promo on the entire black community.
He took shots at Ludacris. Who cares about Ludacris?
Oh, man, you got to take shots at Ludacris. He took shots at Ludacris. Once you start taking shots at Michael Blackson, Ricky Smiley, you bring up the name of Mark Curry. No one's dug up the name Mark Curry.
Marcus, he praised Mark Curry, and we all know. But Mark, the greatest thing is when he said that Steve Harvey stole his stupid show from stealing from Mark Curry. I was like, that's about right.
Yeah. I mean, there was so much covered in this.
As the one comedian said, there was a lot of truths. But man, there was a lot of lies too.
You know what the saddest part about this is? The response is that, people could come out with better responses. My favorite response comes from yesterday. It's being Ice Cube talking about the production of Friday After Next. Yeah. And he sounded so sad and somber about everything that's going on. And he was like, there was no rape scene. I would never put rape in my movie. And then he had to think about it and thought about Players Club. Well, I did put a rape in a movie.
But the thing, how he broke it down, he was like, he was like, we brought in a bunch of comedians and, we tried them all out. And then when we tried Ricky Smiley out, we said, you know what? You'll make a better Santa Claus than you would the Money Mike. And I was like, and he was like, that was the right decision. I was like, you're right. It was the right decision.
He got something. If you going against Cat Williams as Money Mike, I don't know how many people is going to beat him in Timbits at that point in his life. That was the premiere role. And so a lot has been said, and I agree with most of the stuff. I'm going to say I believe him when it comes to Steve Harvey for no reason. Most of that stuff. But there's other stuff where he just off the rails.
Can I stop you real quick? Because I have one question for Manny. Manny, is Cat Williams even a thing over there?
He is, but he's not as big as people think he is over here.
Yeah. No, I think he's at the same level everywhere.
Yeah, because when I start thinking about comedians, Cat Williams wouldn't even cross my mind. Like, this might be his best stand-up special he ever did, and all he did was go on the show and talk shit.
I mean, all he's ever been good for me for watching was when he was on Wild 'N Out.
Money Mike
when I think he peaked.
Well, he also was a pimp named Slickback on the Boondocks too. Like, he has a lot of key moments of just being hilarious. Like, I consider him one of the tops, but I haven't thought about him in years. I'll be honest. Last time I thought about Cat Williams, he was getting beat up by a kid. And going like, oh, what happened to Cat Williams? But I thought this elevated his profile. I thought that this was a smart business move. I think everything he did was perfect. And it was a 3-hour promo. And again, in a segment where I would like to say, what's better, wrestling or the real world? The real world is beating wrestling in ridiculousness with 3-hour promos about every comedian and people diving at judges. Eric, if your judge got dove at like that man,
that shit ain't happening, man. That shit ain't happening. First of all,
he gonna move like me.
So let me tell you a couple of stories. Like, first of all, I don't know how close the table was between the judge and him, but it seemed like it was really close. That I almost cut.
No, say it, Eric.
Say it with chest, Eric.
Say it with chest.
That nigga has some hops, and he's crazy. He has some hops.
Yes.
Like, I don't know how he flew over that desk. Like, he should have used that skills to become a professional wrestler when WWE had time instead of the life of crime that he chose. But now he's gonna be locked up for a long time.
I asked
Eric,
about
at
that.
The NFL Combine, he would have been a top prospect the way he dived over that.
Yes, what a dive!
I will tell a story that at my job there was
he's all elite.
There was a period that like defendants do act out. They do have these moments. No one has never jumped, but normally the thing that would normally happen was they would flip the table after they get sentenced or get convicted. Like fucking flip the table and everything would go chaos. So eventually my job got tired of the table being flipped. So what they did was they end up boating the table down. Of course, there's no memo that goes out to the defendants about this. So this guy tried to flip a table. And apparently he strained the muscle in his arm because the table was. And so you hear, like he's hollering because he messed up his arm, which is, shit happens.
That's hilarious.
So that's in the real world what Eric deal with,
So
I don't talk about my life.
Better pro wrestling moment in the real world, that dive or Cat Williams promo.
Cat Williams, Marcus. Cat Williams.
His pipe bomb, quote unquote.
Well, first of all, let me say fuck everybody who was taking a shot at Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp was a great interviewer because he asked the question and he let the man just talk.
That could have been anybody. That could have been Barbara Walters.
It didn't matter
Marcus, who was in there.
Marcus, it couldn't have been you because you would have interrupted Cat Williams.
No, because Eric, I don't think there was a man alive. Because you asked Cat Williams, how you doing today? Next thing you know, he talking about Jonathan Majors, Ludacris, and Steve Harvey in all the same breath. He put Ricky Smiley in his contracts and making him wear dresses and everything else. There was no questions asked.
Marcus.
There were follow-ups.
Mark, I only saw a clip, Mark, but the whole thing about him and Martin Lawrence. Martin, I got you. Next time we do it, we gonna do a buddy movie. Blah 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 blah. This motherfucker come to me with Big Mama House 2. Why we putting on the dress again? Why you doing it, Martin? We can be anything else.
You can do anything else.
And so I recommended that other nigga for him, and he did it. He put the dress on. I was just like, what the hell are we talking about?
Apparently, who's made my favorite is you can't go to Diddy's parties because Diddy want to party too much. And you just gotta tell him, no, Diddy, I don't want to party today.
So, Mark, you watched the whole 3-hour interview, I take it.
Yes, Eric, yes. Because I caught myself, Eric, I caught myself looking at every clip that was on my Instagram feed. And I just said, you know what? Instead of me looking at it clip by clip by clip and scroll, I'm just going to put it all up on there and support Club Shay Shay.
Yeah, I did subscribe to Club Shay Shay on YouTube, but you know. So if you guys want to be a guest on our show and just come out and talk about everybody else, like if El Luchador want to hop out and talk about Wes and his bootleg shirts or vice versa, you know, we could do it.
Quick question. What wrestler do you want to see go on Club Shay Shay and just talk shit?
Randy Orton. Randy Orton.
That's
God, CM Punk. Straight away.
No, because
we really got CM Punk's medium scrum last year.
Because about Randy Orton. People said Randy Orton did so much stupid shit and stuff. Like, I don't know if you guys saw that post that was in the mid-card mess where Sean Waltman talked about how Mr. Perfect shaved off his eyebrows. And I was like, damn. Kurt Hennig was out there doing that? Mm-hmm. And they just laughed it off? Nowadays, man, you can't even pinch somebody's cheek without them one file a lawsuit against you. Man,
I'm going with Scott Steiner. Just him ranting on everybody.
Mark, you know, Mark, one day, Marcus, I have to get you into the studio. I have to take your picture. I need to add it to my repertoire. I need to have a thoughtful photo of you like I did of myself.
Oh, so I'm going to be dead.
I was fighting the urge to write so many disrespectful comments on either platform.
Manny,
I was going to roast you so hard, but then people were...
Is this the one with the turtleneck?
No, Manny. So first of all, if you looked at those comments, everybody was talking about making sure that I was not ashy and not lotiony. If you need to understand something about me at work, I am the lotion crusader. I will talk about your ashy ankles. So everybody who was commenting had faced my rash of me talking about their ashy ankles. So they was trying to call me out for my ashy hands, but they weren't ashy. The light was just positioned right there to there.
You look like the next Bond villain.
You did right, I did.
You look like Black Christian.
No, he looked like what he was thinking about. He was thinking about his next meal. What are you talking
about? Marcus, you want to hear something funny?
Black Christian.
Marcus, the greatest thing about that picture that you said the next Bond villain, that picture was inspired by a picture I saw of Daniel Craig that I was like, you know what? Let me try to do this picture. So I was like, and I thought I did a solid job. The turtleneck and shit was hilarious. Because afterwards I was like, huh, I look like a villain.
He also looked like a pastor trying to steal from the congregation once again.
What? Because I do have a happy photo, but I was like, nobody wants the happy Eric. Nobody wants to see me cheesing the shit. Yeah. I thought that was a...
Well, I put up a photo of me being first day back at work, and then I get dissed by the Diz man saying I look like I have a photo that I've just been at a death match. I'm like, this is just my face.
Well, man, you need to stick to the photos where you're lifting up girls' legs and they're right to censor costumes.
Once again, I saw Manny posted a photo that his streak is continuing of him lifting girl legs. Manny,
if you look at the picture, her leg is hooked onto mine.
Manny, don't explain yourself, sir. We see the evidence.
We see you out there, Manny. We have the evidence. If we ever did the biopic of Manny and found out anything about you, like if you were Indian people,
Manny, this man can save you, man. This man can save you right here. He can save you.
We're using the same photo of people lifting up a leg over and over again. It's gonna be a cheap Lifetime budgeted documentary. We only got one photo.
Wait. I hope you guys enjoyed the first edition of the show. Manny has dropped the bomb on me that I would be doing more work, which I probably should do. It is the Saturday show. Go, Manny.
Hands are not holding any legs.
Yeah, but that leg.
Where's your hand?
Where's your hand? Because we all know what's holding that leg up. We all know what's holding that leg up. Little Manny strong. Rock hard like Juice Robinson.
Well, we do question where the left hand is, Manny. The investigation continues.
By my side, sir. By my side.
Did you get any milk and cookies this time?
I did. I got brownies with M&Ms. They were delicious.
So Manny, was the picture taken by the same person that always takes your pictures?
No, some random person.
Oh,
took the
Damn.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Well,
How did the person who shall not be
That's
named
more
react?
of an off-air discussion if you want to talk about that. Because
So Manny don't want to be Cat Williams on this podcast, so we're going to close this out right now. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you guys like the new format of us just talking about random shit in the week, with all three of us talking, let me know. I think I had a good time doing that. Not being,
I think it's more fun where we're just talking shit, to be honest.
not being, handicapped by the Smackdown cred. So who knows? Going forward, I might just talk shit because I enjoy talking shit. That's what I do better. We can just call this the 2024 the Cat Williams edition of the Sharpshooters on Saturday. We do Cat Williams.
we didn't call anybody out. We didn't start calling podcasters out.
I realized that I
called
probably
Joe Rogan out for trying to get Cat Williams on his platform after Shannon already did it. It's too late, Joe. It's too late.
I probably
Who listens to Joe Rogan still?
He's still the number one man, Manny.
I probably should have did this at the beginning of the show because nobody's going to hear this at the end of the show. But Marcus and I, and it will be no Saturday show next week. I did drop this bomb on Manny earlier in the show because we will be going to Las Vegas to enjoy TNA's pay-per-view that's taking place at the Palm Casino. And we may visit CES. Go buy us a new TV that we can't afford. You know, that's what we doing. Maybe go get the run from MKBHD. You know, Marquise, we looking for you.
Weekend?
We looking for you, Marquise.
I'm gonna beat up all the nerds.
Marquez, sorry.
Marquise.
Yeah, luckily nobody watches. Man, he got a fucking amazing setup, man. It's an amazing setup. Mark, you don't watch
He's
that.
the richest black man in tech. What are you doing?
He is to the point where he plays professional frisbee. But if you saw the humble beginnings he started from, like if you go back and look at his old videos, you be like, you know what? Go ahead, man. You do your thing.
Yeah, look at the humble beginnings of us. Look
We're still humble, Manny.
Manny and Marcus show looked like at the beginning.
We still humble.
Right after this show, I went out to the corner of our liquor store and I'm gonna beg for change, and it may take me into the doctor.
Manny, are you happy? I cleaned up the spot for 2024. Ain't no random papers right there.
Yeah, there's still stuff lingering around.
What do you want?
Manny, that is my photo luggage. It's right. It's gonna stay right there.
That's like Eric going, Manny, you know there's a bed behind you. You can clean that up.
My bed is always made when we do these shows.
You can't tell because of the chair.
I can't tell your bed is made, Manny. I don't know.
For all I know,
That
Nina
corner
Samuels
over
and her
there would
cookies
be
were in
out
that bed.
if it wasn't made.
You know, Mark, I realized that Mansois cannot be pleased. No matter what I do, he told me to clean up the quarter. I cleaned up the quarter, and it wasn't cleaned up good enough for him.
That sounds like the police department, Eric.
Do you want me to put a wrestling buddy in that chair just to stand behind and watch us?
You have a wrestling buddy?
I don't, Marcus. But I do have a Pokemon that my friend gave me because she said it looked like me.
Snorlax?
Snorlax.
Huh?
Snorlax?
No. Do you want to see?
Yes.
Yes.
Hold on. I'll be right back. You guys stall.
Oh. Well, tune into the channel. Check out all our content. We have a bunch of short videos coming out with our stuff, and then we plan on doing make them laugh videos some more. Tell us what you think. And the return of ETE is coming back.
If you really enjoyed those videos and you think you can find something that's gonna make me and Marcus laugh, send them to the Sharpshooters Instagram account. That's DA the Sharpshooters. And just send them there. One of us will pick them up because Marcus needs to add some of these videos to the compilation.
I had nothing.
Oh, you're that one, the useless one. You can't catch on Route 1.
Yes.
What's that?
Yes. The bushy tail one.
Pokemon's out of ideas, man. They're done.
I mean, I think it's the freckles you have on the eyes.
No. His name is Greeded too, because he's greedy. This is these type of friends I got.
Yeah, but you also established a Black Kirby last week.
Also, Fiasco tried to fuck this. Just want to let you know.
Your cat is disgusting. She's just horny at this point.
Damn, Manny, you are freshly removed from Pokemon. I know that he was on Route 1. But like, You know, the funny thing about Pokemon, I do wonder,
It's
is
Dark
there
Friday.
any Pokemons that make it to your final team who you met on Route 1? I just don't think no one makes it that far.
On Brilliant Diamond, I got a Sphinx, which is now, I don't know what it's called now, but like that, I caught that on Route 1.
The Sparky, that's like your electric Pikachu.
Yeah.
Marcus, do you ever miss playing Pokemon?
Never really played Pokemon. In fact, I stopped playing Pokemon when my Game Boy Color was stolen in high school.
By Troy?
No, it was stolen in high school.
Oh, damn. Jimmy wasn't playing. He made a big donation. He gave us a dub. He put 20 on that ass. I appreciate that, knowing how broke I am.
Poor Eric.
Well, the Thousandaire said he's got 2 months of StreamYard, so.
Well,
I did my 2.
Also, the Thousandaire also created a PayPal account. Who knew it was going to take 2023 for him to get a PayPal account? He the only man I know who didn't have a...
The end of 2023.
Yeah, but that still took place in 2023. Didn't know Marcus didn't have a PayPal account. Had no idea. I thought everybody had a PayPal account.
Why would I need one?
My PayPal account I had when I was like 13.
Yeah, everybody had a PayPal account.
How about this? I wanted to pay no pals. Okay, how like that? How about that? How about my pals pay me for a change?
So anyway, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Who knows? No, I don't think me and Marcus are going to do a show.
You'll see everyone in 2 weeks. Me and Marcus will be back on Tuesday.
Unless me and Marcus hop on and do it in a hotel room, which I don't think we're going to do.
We're not going to do it in a hotel room. We're not going to do it in a hotel room. We're not going to do the OnlyFans shit. OnlyFans content.
You know, we got to make some money somehow.
These are our humble beginnings, Manny.
James is the only one that gives. Jimmy's the only one that gives us money. He's the only one.
Yeet.
Anyway, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure you tune in to Tuesday where Marcus and Manny cover that episode of Monday Night Raw, the second episode, not day 1, but week 2 of Monday Night Raw.
Day 7. Day 7.
For all those day 1s out there.
You would think that would have been a pay-per-view where one of the Usos would have got a title match where it was day 1-ish. You know, it seems like it connects, but
the question
they
again
canceled day 1 last year, didn't they?
So 2023
last year.
2023.
No, they canceled day 1 last year. They only had one day 1. I think that was in 2022.
I just want to point out
day 1 was last year, 2023, and then that was it.
No.
2023.
That's it, Manny. I'm going to the research.
What was the year that the Tuesday show was in jeopardy more times than not, and it survived in 2023? Will the Tuesday show be in jeopardy in 2024? Stay tuned to find out. Will Marcus' schedule get fixed? Will Manny get burned out? Who knows what happens with Tuesday? We never know. Hey, is ET coming back, Marcus?
I'm right, Marcus, and you're not going to like it.
I just looked it up. You're right. And I wasn't going to respond to it.
Oh, I could have saw his face that Marcus was wrong. That's why he was going to be quiet and try to let it go. just like Elsa and Frozen. Let it go. Let it go.
Fuck Elsa.
Oh, you know what? Wes did say this. We have Gigi Dolan about to fill up Cora J for no good reason, and JCJ on these side missions with Chase University. Please bring back my Mandy Rose and reform Toxic Attraction.
Yes, they're doing nothing.
You know, the sad part about it, Gigi was in the wrong. She was sitting in Cora's locker, who Cora took from that other girl from last week. And Ariana Grande is hilarious too, because she's trying to fix whoever she was trying to fix. But since I lost my voice, hopefully the Steelers make it to the playoffs. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. See these guys on Tuesday. Stay sharp. Stay love. Let's have a great 2024.
Peace.
That's all I have.
Peace.
You know, I have to go
follow us. I'm delicious.